Well, hello everyone, and welcome to a long overdue episode of Holding History. I do apologize for the sabbatical that I've taken over the last couple of months from producing these videos, but I hope to make some sort of amends here today. This is the long overdue and the series that I promised a while back with that little trailer that I put together. Just a quick series about I suppose you could call it my prized possession as far as numismatic items. It would be my United States typeset that is housed in this, which is now quite rare album, the Dansco 7070 album. And here's just a quick shot of it, and we will start taking a look at what's inside here in just a moment. But there's a few of these that have been documented and put out there on YouTube. You can check those out. There's also a couple of alternative albums. If you can't find or don't want to fork out the extra premium for these particular albums, you can pick up some Intercept Shield albums and just a couple of other alternatives that are out there for you. But again, this is meant to be sort of an attainable and everyman's collection of just the most important type coins that were produced in the United States, mostly after the year 1800. So by no means is it a complete set. They have a page that you can add to this, which would include gold coins. I do not have that. All of the gold coins that I have already been featured in a previous video. But these are just regular business strike coins, and it's all the major types and some of the varieties, like I said, from about 1800 to present. So just a good sampling of the different wide variety of coins and denominations and designs that the United States has produced over the last couple of hundred years. So we'll get started. Just page 1 will be featured in this video, part 1, and I'll put together a few other videos after this that will showcase the other pages. So we'll get started with page 1 in just a second. All right, we'll start off here with a quick preview of page 1. This is going to begin with the smallest denomination that was minted. That's the half cents. Then we're going to cover some large cents, and then, as you can see, quite a few small cents in this type album, as well as 2 and 3 cent pieces. So just a quick overview, and now we can zoom in and look at a few of these in detail. Give me just a second to get all set up here. Okay. All right. Now, as you can see, this one is pristine. No, of course not. This would be a half cent that I've had since I was just a kid. 1804, several varieties here. You could have a lot of fun looking up and guessing the variety of this one. But this is an 1804, a fairly common year, and this one has quite a bit of corrosion. However, if it weren't for the corrosion, there'd be a lot of good detail there. There's several of these old coppers, early coppers in here that would fit that description. Fine details with corrosion. So this is an example of that, but again, about 212 years old here, so we'll give her a break. She has had kind of a rough time. But half cent, that's the first denomination here, and this is the oldest variety that's included in this album. Then you move over here to your classic heads, which you can see the dates that they were minted there. This one was in the trailer, and I apologize if I deceived anyone. It does have some of the original red mint luster over around some of these devices, but as you can see, someone did try from the back side, from the reverse side, I believe tried to gouge a hole in her a while back, but still a very nice coin. Love that original mint coppery shiny luster around some of those stars and in some of the hair details. Still a nice coin, even if it does have a little bit of post-mint damage on it. I am reluctant to show you the classic head half cent, but it's here, and again, it's one that I've owned for quite some time. This is an 1854, a fairly common year, with a gigantic hole and then lots of heavy rim damage on it. Has had another one that with quite a hard life, but these are very expensive. The mintages on these, the half cent as a denomination was already kind of past its time when these were produced. They were not heavily used in circulation. Lots of them were minted down. Lots of them were used for store tokens and things. So it really, this was one of the last few years that they were produced. And so, these are kind of hard to come by. You spend 60, 80 bucks on one of these, and that's pretty worn, in pretty rough shape. So I just don't see spending a couple of $100s to upgrade this one for a half cent worth of copper, at least a half cent worth 150 years ago. anyway, that's my Coronet Head half cent. Moving on down to the large cents, we have a rather interesting one. This again with a lot of corrosion and some type of recoloring process that it underwent at some point in its life. This is an 1803 bust large cent, and a lot of good detail here, but again some damage, some issues. Over here, a very tough variety classic head. Once again, when I was putting this album together, that was kind of my style. Rather than go for completely worn out ones, find some that had a lot of detail peeking through, but just some issues that made them affordable for me. This is an 1814. You can just barely make out the date there, and very heavy corrosion on here, but you can tell without the corrosion this is probably a very fine coin. Lots of detail, the eye peeking out there from all that corrosion, hair curls, just a lot of beauty still left there, even if it's kind of got a little acne going on, little problems there. All right, moving over here, a little bit of some light corrosion on this, but still a lot of detail. This is an 1818. As you can see, this design existed in several variations for a couple of 3 decades, and this is one of the earlier ones. This design was started in 1816, as you can see there. But a lot of detail left on this coin, just a good representative type coin, I felt, for that type. And this one, near uncirculated or uncirculated. I've had this for quite a while. Something going on here in front of her field of vision. When I purchased this as about a 10 or 11-year-old, there was still some red mint luster around some of these stars, but that has since faded. Yeah, just very, very light circulation, if any, on this piece. The reverse is very nice as well. Moving on over here to the small cents, we have our first entry, which of course, as usual, is the Flying Eagle. This is an 1857, a few scrapes, a little worse for the wear here, but only wear on the high points here. And as you'll notice, some of these early small cents, the composition was radically different from the ones that we're used to today. A lot of nickel mixed into these, so these are kind of a creamy, very pale bronze color. They're not quite the bright coppery colors that we're used to seeing on much later coinage. First year Indian head cent. For those of you who have seen my wife's collection, you'll know that she has a much nicer first year 1859 Indian head than I do, but this is the best I have, so I put it in the album. Then with a composition change and slight design changes in 1863, and then the composition remained the same from 1864 to 1909 when it was closed out. And this is a very near uncirculated 1901 with a little bit of original luster on it too. So I'm pretty proud of that one. Here is your first year 1909 VDB, Victor D. Brenner, on the reverse Lincoln cent. This one's still just a red-brown. And then just an uncirculated 55, not a double die, would be nice. If it had an uncirculated double die in here, I'd be sending that one off and getting it slabbed, but it's just a regular strike, 1955, just for the mid-uncirculated regular wheat penny. Okay, a nice creamy uncirculated steel cent, the San Francisco, 1943. Then a first year memorial penny, nothing special. You can get these for 2-3 cents, not a big deal. A little corrosion here on my 2-cent piece, but there's a lot of detail there. You can see just very little wear on some of the surfaces, and then some corrosion going on. So again, when I was putting this together, apparently corrosion was not a big deal to me. I was just looking for detail, so there you go. 3-cent pieces. This is a silver Trime, 1851, first year. Just a type coin, nothing special, just some detail missing, some detail still there. These are very tiny. I used to own an 1857 that was nearly uncirculated, that was actually just kind of thrown in as a gift from a coin dealer when I was purchasing some things as a kid, and made my own little package for it, didn't put in a flip or an airtight or anything, and still looking for it. I've been through my childhood room quite a few times to see if I could find the thing, but it's gone, probably vacuumed up years ago. Would have been a $200 or $300 coin these days, but oh well, just one of those heartache stories. You live, you learn, and you take better care of your stuff sometimes. And then the last one, a little damaged centennial year 3-cent nickel. As you can see, 1876. Got some issues going up there with the field above her brow. But at any rate, a nice little piece and one that fills the hole for the 3-cent nickel. So that completes your first look at page 1 of the typeset. I hope you enjoyed that. If you have any questions about any of the coins in particular, you can post those in the comments, and I'll try to answer anything about these. But, you know, again, this would be the copper entry. Some of mine are pretty rough, a lot of corrosion present. But still proud of this page, and looking forward to showing you what is to follow on the next few pages. So thanks for watching. Thanks for taking time out of your day to check out the new Holding History episode, and I hope each and every one of you has a great day. Thank you.